Design policy looks at the role of design in products and software and how designers make things, and then analyze how design terms and the structures of design operate in relationship to policy and technology. So, design policy is the act of using design to make policies around software and hardware more understandable. But how design impacts policy, I think we can most clearly see in things like dark patterns, which are design patterns that unintentionally or intentionally manipulate users into making decisions they normally wouldn't make. Dark patterns as a term was coined by designer Harry Bringle in 2010. I think of dark patterns as being both intentional and unintentional. Is it an intentional dark pattern to suppress privacy when social networks bury their security settings, or are designers and engineers not sure where to place the appropriate buttons? Is it intentional that marketplaces like Amazon have confusion, price confusion, or again, is it just bad design? Design is what distills code and policy into digestible and interactive interfaces for users. Design is the thing that explains what the code and policy are outlining. So for issues like labor, harassment, security, and privacy, design is incredibly important. Ideally, users don't have to deeply understand a social network's policy on harassment in order to report it. Design takes the technical infrastructure, the ability to select a piece of content, to click on it, and then decide what button it goes into or what bucket of harassment it goes into. Those buckets, the way it's delineated, that is the design interpreting the policy, making it human readable. So it's taking the political infrastructure, the policy, what kind of harm, technical infrastructure, the actual ability to report, and fold it into the product design process, the online harassment reporting system. And I listened to every song that band had every day for a month on repeat. And you know what that did? It messed up my Discover Weekly. It destroyed my Discover Weekly. My Discover Weekly is still destroyed. And that was 7 years ago. And I was thinking about this the other day. You know, this may seem innocuous and benign, but why can't I intervene in the algorithm in this product? Why can't I uplift or show what I'm interested in now? Why can't I say, these are the things I'm interested in? And this older data, this older version of Caroline, she doesn't like that stuff anymore. And I'm not alone. Again, as I've mentioned, there's a lot of papers coming out. And there's also this great project I'm a big fan of called the Data Nutrition Project. And this multi-year project was supported by Consumer Reports, really looking at, again, how data labels are needed for different data sets used by an AI model. And we need this kind of legibility and understanding to really make AI more user-friendly. Which brings me to a project I just worked on, designing for social media recommendation algorithm transparency with the Center for Democracy and Technology. We just had a paper come out, like allowing them to move and control how their data is interacted with. It's also showing how different data is gathered by social media algorithms. Maybe data is gathered from content like news sources and academic behavioral data and advertising data, and then how the behavior of their actual account, and the account similar to yours and websites you visited. And we really model, and then you see this outgoing data. And the outgoing data in the black corner is things that will never be shared. So, you know, there are things that are never leaving the platform, but you can move other things into that section. You could move all of these data points into that section. But it really allows the user to say, this is what I want shared, this is what I don't want shared. And this is also maybe what I want shared to academics or to trusted partners, or this is what I want shared very publicly, right? And it's also allowing the user to enact their own opinion and their own agency, their own desires of how their data is affected. And this is what I think is transparency in action. And this is the part I think we need to start illustrating with how algorithmic models work across any product, because people should have an opinion on how their data is accessed and also have a way to directly inform and impact that model. Similar to my Spotify example, we need to allow users to impact or affect the model by saying, this is the information I care about. This is the inferences I want you to pull from. And these are the kinds of recommendations I'd like to see. And this is the kind of stuff I'd like deleted and not accessed. And as you see at the very bottom of this, or back on this page, all the way down here, you can delete everything. Thank you. I know I gave a whistle-stop tour, but thank you so much. I'm Caroline Sinders. I'm an artist and researcher, and I care deeply about how to make AI more explainable and more legible to everyday audiences. So thank you so much.